Guys, here I am with my Diamondback mountain bike, and what I'm going to do today is I'm going to try and change out the headset with this new one I got on Amazon, and I'm going to show you why I'm going to do that. And honestly, I don't know how to do this. I want you guys to know that I'm not an expert in this stuff. I just find it kind of fun to try and do, but I'm going to show you that I need to change it regardless, and if all else fails, I can go back to the original way that I had it, but I'm going to try and do it regardless. All right, so the reason I'm going to change the headset out is because I actually bought this bike used. I got it for $40 from somebody on OfferUp, and it just was sitting outside rusted and stuff. There's a lot of stuff that needed to be replaced. It's not that expensive of a bike anyway, so I don't want to spend too much, but I'm sort of learning as I go with this. It's just sort of fun to do for me. So one of the things that my son pointed out was this headset is loose, and the way you can tell is by pressing in on the front brake and then kind of rocking it. Can you see how it's loose in there? That's way too loose. And so we're going to try and fix that with the new headset stuff that I bought on Amazon. So again, I don't know how to do this stuff, but I find it fun to try and do. But I'll tell you what I've learned. I do a little research online and things like that. And hopefully this will actually work for this bike, but we'll see together. The way this works is you have to loosen up these bolts first so that your headset can slide up and down when you tighten it, so it will be able to be tightened. Otherwise, if you just tighten these first and then you try and do this, you're not really doing anything. It's not able to move freely inside of this clamped area. So anyways, those are the torque specs. I don't actually have a torque wrench that fits this, so I just kind of go, this feels right, and that's sort of how I do it. But here, I'll take it apart. Okay, this is going to drop down. I have it on the ground here. As you can see, there's already a gap from me loosening it. And I'm going to show you why this thing is wobbling around, or at least why I think it is. I've already taken this apart before, and I've put in my own grease and stuff, but it didn't fix the problem. So I'm actually just kind of take it apart again and put in a new headset there. All right, I've got that undone. It's really important that you keep these things in order so you know how they go back on. But here's how I do it. Just put that right there, and I'm gonna take off this, whoa, top bar. Be careful that you don't let it fall, like I did. There we go, and it's out. And it's that simple. All right, I am having a hard time with this, but essentially you take this off and you just let it flop down here like this, and that's fine just to do it like that. I dropped all these spacers here, and I was going to tell you, make sure you don't get these out of order, but clearly I didn't do that well. So I just wanted to show you kind of what it looks like. I have all these spacers here, and I think part of the issue is on this bottom spacer. I think whatever happened, if you can look here, I think that it just got ground down somehow. It was not correctly put on. So on that bottom spacer, I think that's a part of it. The spacing is not correct because whoever had it really ground it down on the edge there so far. But that goes into this part here, which is, I think it's called a race, but essentially the ball bearings are right here and they go up against this part here, and that's how it turns smoothly. So I'll take all this out, but what you can do is you can stick like one of those zip ties through here to keep them all together in the right way. If you want to do that, I'm not going to because I'm not using these again, but that's how it goes. That's the order. This is the ball bearing on the top of the top headset, and it's still in good condition, still seems pretty good. Go ahead and take a look at this up here. It has a little cap on the top there, so this is the order it goes in for me. And I'll just clean this grease off. This is something I did earlier with some bike grease, and I'll show you what I use for grease. But that's kind of what it looks like. They're caged ball bearings like that, and that's all that's in your headset right there. Kind of interesting. Some of them are enclosed, but these ones are just kind of open, but encaged, I guess you might call them. So I'll show you on the bottom why I believe this this headset is no good. This is the bottom of the headset, and you have a little lock washer, or not lock washer, but a seal there. And then, oh, it looks like the ball bearings aren't on here. This is just the race. So I don't know if that comes off, but in here it is. This is the ball bearings for the bottom part of the headset. And it's the same deal, except look at this. See that right there? It's missing one. I don't know if you can see that. It's missing a ball bearing. See right there? And I kind of think that might be part of the issue. So with that one piece of the spacer being ground down so far, plus this, I wonder if that just made enough play in it to where it would not tighten properly. So that's my theory, that's my guess. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I'm going with. All right, here's the new headset, and I hope it's the right size. I'm going to show you a website that I went to kind of get the sizing, and I'm hoping it's the right size, but I'm not sure. So yeah, we'll have to see together. I'm going to take this apart and just see what all we got here. Put that there. And I believe we have, if I understand this correctly, yeah, okay, so we have the top section. Look at, we got the new ball bearings and stuff in there. That's all good. Then we have this lower section right here. Look at those ball bearings. So that looks correct to me. And then we have this piece that goes in the tube. So let's take that and that. That's how that all goes together on the bottom. Pretty cool. Look at that. Oh, beautiful roll. That's the bottom part. And this is the top part. And it looks like it's rolls pretty good too. I guess I don't understand why there's a little bit of this section sticking out, but other than that, pretty cool. Maybe it just pinches together and it sucks it in at some point. So that's that. And then we have this part that we have to fit in there. So I will try and do that. Actually have to take this out too. The new set came with some new races on the top and bottom, so I'm gonna try and get this out. I don't know if this is gonna work like this, but how compressed it is in there, but I'm just gonna take a rubber mallet and try and get that out. And that's not working. Headset removal tool right here. Just about wide enough to catch the inside of the headset here. We'll see if it works. There's one. All right, that's kind of hard, but we got them off. I'm just gonna clean it off a little bit. And then the next part is we're gonna have to remove this from inside of here. That's up next. This is the last thing I'm gonna take off, but I just wanna show you what the issue was. When I was trying to tighten and snug everything up, I'll just put this down like that. It kind of tightens, but what happens is when I try and snug it all together and I would try and tighten it, if you go too tight, what happens is the whole thing, do you see it? This right here, it starts spinning, and you don't want that. So I'm gonna try and replace it, and hopefully it's not marred too much on the inside. Maybe what I can do is press the new one down further. I'm not really sure. We'll just try and fix that. All right, so I took the wheel off, and I'm gonna try and pound this out by turning this upside down. So this is the last thing I gotta do to replace the parts. So let's try and do that. Yep. Oh, I think it might be working, possibly. A little bit. Let's keep trying. This is just an old hanger for our curtain rod that I had in my garage. There we go. I don't know if you can see in there, but there's like a little lip that was made either by it being over tightened or whatever. What I'm going to try and do is put the new one just below that line so it doesn't twist when I try and tighten it. So I'm going to clean this out and try and install the other one, and hopefully it'll fix our problem. All right, I have the new one here, but I put the old nut in it, or sorry, the old screw in it. And what I'm going to do is try and tap on that screw in order to seat this in the pipe. So hopefully that'll work. We'll see what happens. Well, it's not going in even. Okay. Let's look at that. It's actually going in kind of evenly, which is good. Let's get it down a little further. My son had the good idea to try and just seat it in there in that spot and see if it will still. Oh, I think I went below it just a smidgen. So I'm going to leave it like that and see if that will work for us. Hopefully it does. It's off at the bottom here, so it looks like there's a place to stick something like a screwdriver here on both sides. So I'm just going to try that and pry and see what happens. And what do you know, it's coming up. All right. Well, that worked. This is really tight. Wow. I'm not sure how we're going to get it all the way off. Okay. So, after you get it up a little ways, apparently this is tapered. I didn't realize that. And it just slides right off. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put the top part of the headset and the bottom part, the seats with the race. I'm going to try and do them both at the same time. I'll show you how I'm going to try and do that. Okay, I'm actually not going to try and do them both at the same time. I'm going to do them one at a time. With this board here and a board on the bottom. And then I'm going to take this C-clamp here and try and squeeze them all together. Hopefully that C-clamp will be big enough. Okay, I'm just going to try and start this with a hammer. My son can just look under here and just see if it actually makes it move down at all. There we go. Okay, that looks like it started it pretty good. I'm gonna finish it off with a C-clamp. Let's try and seat it. Is it going down? Let's see where we're at. Oh, we're getting either pretty close or right there. Just kind of do it till I can't really press anymore. That's probably good. Let's see. That looks like it's, yeah, I think that'll work. And do something similar on the bottom. We'll see if it works. I don't know if it will or not, but I'm gonna try and make sure the FSA is pointing forward too. There we go. So I'll try and at least start it with the hammer. There we go. Got it started. Probably could hammer it in all the way, but I'm kind of just trying to do the same trick with the C-clamp again. So here we go. Compression time. Let's see if we can get this thing in there. Whoa, that's hard. Man, whew, this is hard. You gotta be strong. Whew, that's about as far as I can get it right now. Oh, wow. I think what I'm gonna do is maybe hit it again. See what happens. The hammer a little bit, and now it's moving in there nice and good. I'm gonna try and do that again, just to make sure it's nice and tight and snug. There we go. Yeah. Let's do that again. Compression here. That looks pretty good to me. Give it a tap on the top, make sure the top's on. I'm happy with that. Let's take this off and start assembling it. This piece of tubing that is for a shelving, it's plastic. I have no idea if it's gonna break or what. Probably will break, but I'm gonna try it anyways, just to see if we can get this thing on there. What happened? Did it go down?
I don't know.
Let's try again. Whoa! Well, it worked kind of on the last hit. It got it down, but look at that. Wow. Kind of spread shards over everybody, but now it's down, and I think we did not mar it. So I'm happy. I'm happy. All right, now we can get this thing assembled. Okay, so a couple of things we're gonna need to finish this assembly is, so here's the top part with the ball bearings, but they need to be greased. I happen to use this. I got it at a bike shop a long time ago. They say it's supposed to be really good because it prevents salt water and all that kind of stuff, and it greases the ball bearings. This is what I'm gonna use, and we'll see how it works, but you can get it for probably cheaper on Amazon than $9.95, but I'll try and put a link at the bottom in the description for you so you can get it. Okay, I'm gonna just put some grease right inside here, first of all, and the bearings will go right on there. So this is what you see on YouTube. They just sort of put it in with their finger like that. And anything that gets over, you know, a little like too much grease, you just wipe it off at the end. But that's probably good. I'm gonna grease the bearings too, but right now I'm just doing these places where the bearings sit on the bottom. And I'll do it on the top again. And the bearings ride right in there, so I'm just gonna grease that up nice and good. Okay, first of all, this lower seal goes on, I believe. So we're gonna put that on first. Slide it all the way down. Yeah, there we go, because the ball bearings will still be able to fit on there. And then we gotta put these ball bearings on. And I just realized I need to make sure that these, looks like, I'm gonna have to look at the diagram. Okay, so first of all, we put this bottom seal on, and there's like a little lip on it, and the widest flat part goes down. So it goes down over that. And then next is the ball bearings. And the ball bearings have this flat side and then kind of a rounded side. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but let me just, this side is sort of flat, that side's kind of rounded. And it's got that flat side is the side that you want to go down, just like that. And it runs, the inside of those ball bearings run right along that. That's great. Okay, so I'm actually just gonna put a little bit of grease on these ball bearings while we're here. This is just like backyard bike mechanic stuff. Okay, I have the bike tire back on this front part here, so that'll be easier to do, I think. So I'm gonna put this back in here. I've already greased the bottom part on the inside, that bottom race. And now I'm gonna make it go all the way up, I think. There we go. Ow, these cables are getting all messy. All right, and now the part that I didn't show you. We'll just leave this hanging here like that for now. So what I'm gonna try and do is actually match this spacer height that was originally on the bike as best I can. I had to buy these spacers separately from the new headset, so let me get these out. I have all kinds of sizes and stuff. What I'm going to try and do is just use as many big ones as possible, and then I'll start going smaller. So that looks about even with all of it. So now I just have to match that top one, and that looks exactly the right height right there to me. How about you guys? That looks pretty good. I'm not sure if that's how you're supposed to do it, but that's how I'm doing it. All right, now it's time for this final assembly. I'm gonna try and just do all this together. No, I'm not. I'm gonna put the ball bearings in first. All right, here we go. First up is the ball bearings, and they go this way in there. And it's nice when you have grease in there already, because you can just stick it in there like that. And I'm gonna grease it some more, because that's, you know, what they say to do, what they tell you, all those people on the inner tube. Now they say just do it liberally, and whatever excess you have afterwards, just wipe it off with a rag. So that's what I'm gonna do. Get those good and greased. All right, next up is this seal, which I believe goes just like that. And then, let's see, we have our top part here that goes like that. And now I'm gonna lift up the intertube. My son's the third hand right there. And now I'm gonna put in my spacing that I've already predetermined. Just like that. Looky there, looky there. And then this goes like that. And it's too high now. Maybe. Is that too high? Okay, it turns out I did need that third spacer after all. Here's the issue I had. Let me just show you what I learned. So the handlebars do need to be somewhat over this bar, over this, in order for this compression to actually tighten down everything here. And so I thought it just needed to be flush, but then I thought, oh, how's it supposed to tighten if it's just on the bar? So you need it to be just up a little bit, it looks like. And I'm not sure if that's the right height or not, but that's what I'm going with. So we're gonna tighten that back down. Okay, so you're only supposed to do this until it's just tight enough. So it doesn't take a whole lot of strength to tighten this where it's supposed to go. So I've just sort of hand tightened it there. I'm gonna hold the front brake and just see where we're at. Okay, that is worse than where it was before. Worse, I say. So let's try and get that play out. I just want to show you, so there's a lot of play right now in this. And as I just slowly tighten, the play stops, play comes out of it. And you don't need a whole lot of tightness on this, just a little bit. And so I still feel a little bit of play. So just tightening a little bit more. Now I'm going to just grab the front tire here, or the front brake. Looks like I still got a little bit of play, so I'm going to tighten up just a little more. Front brake. Let me see here. I still have some play. So I'm going to tighten a little more.
It's raining outside.
I don't want to go too tight. Got just a slight play still, so I'm going to go a little tighter. You don't have to crank down on this. You just want to get it just tight enough to where there's no more play and you're moving freely. So I think that's pretty close. I've just barely tightened it. And that's feeling a lot better than it was before. That makes me happy. I'm not seeing as much play at all. I'm just going to bounce it. There's no rattle, just a hair tighter, and that feels stupendous. Once you get it to the right tension, you want to tighten these up again. Remember, you can't tighten these while you're trying to tighten up your headset. So I'm just tightening these to just where they'll clamp on. I'm kind of doing both sides, top and bottom, alternating. And want to make sure that this is straight in line with your bike tire. And you can tighten these up to 13 Newton meters, which is, I don't know, right there. 13 on the money. By the way, I was wrong about the 100 Newton meters. It says 100 millimeters. I'm not sure what that's for. If it's the distance on the headset, spacing, or what. I'm not really sure. All I know is this should work after I'm done. All right, those need to be a little tighter. But I just wanted to show you real quick that you want to make sure that it's not so tight that it doesn't spin at all, right? You want it to be pretty loose. I have a feeling that this is still just a smidgen too tight, but I'm happy with it because if I get it any looser, then I have too much play in my headset. All right, here we are with the finished product, and we've taken all of the play out. I feel really happy about that. And the other reason I did this is because I wanted to show you guys that I did this all without the use of any like professional tools, just stuff I had in my garage. And hopefully you can do it too. I do this for fun, and it's just like a little hobby of mine to kind of try and fix things up as best as I can. Had a great time doing this. Hopefully it'll last. I think it will. But also just wanted to encourage you guys to just say, look, hey, if you're not a professional, that's all right. Just do your best and use the things that you have. And hopefully it'll turn out all right. And if it doesn't, just keep tweaking till it does. This is the Simple Sasquatch saying good luck to you.